My calendar still says 6:30. But
That's
then
what I was
something
thinking.
else that says 6 o'clock, so I don't know.
Mark changed it
All right.
to 6.
All right. Call the meeting to order. And we got citizen statements and petitions. Nothing?
I don't think so.
Any correspondence? I know we
No.
had, what's that?
I don't have any correspondence unless you want to talk about the 48-hour.
No, we'll wait till we get to the end for
Okay.
that one. Yep. So now we have to continue the public hearing for Showtime Entertainment from 49 Milford Street. Alteration of premises, existing alcohol license. Did I see in the notes that are they asking for a continuance?
Yes, they are not ready. The attorney for Showtime contacted me. The traffic study that the board requested, they have not completed yet. So they've asked to be on our meeting February 2nd, 2022.
Oh, that's okay. I'm fine. What do we need to legally do to continue that? Just accept that, or
Just
just
read,
make a
there's
motion?
a motion,
okay?
and then there's two motions. You kind of have to open the public hearing, vote to continue it, and that's it. And the two motions are there.
So the first motion I see, I move to open the continuation of the public hearing for the application of the alteration of premises for an existing annual general on-premises all alcoholic beverages license and amending an existing adult entertainment license for Showtime Entertainment, LLC, George Funari, 49 Milford Street, Mendon, Mass.
All right, I'll step down in a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Morale, aye.
Tenio, aye.
All right, there's a second motion. I move to continue the public hearing at the written request of attorney Michael Alio for Showtime Entertainment, LLC, 49 Milford Street, Mendon, Mass, to February 2nd, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. And I so move.
Step down in second. Discussion? All in favor?
Morale, aye.
Tenio, aye. Do we need to close the hearing?
No, you don't, because you continued it. You
Okay.
don't have to. You're good.
All right. Consider appointment of provisional career firefighter / EMT, Leonard Morgante.
Mr. Chair, I move to appoint Leonard Morgante to a provisional career firefighter EMT position effective 12/6/21 at the contractual entry rate of $23.80 per hour. This appointment is a provisional appointment to fill an anticipated spring 2022 opening due to a pending retirement. When the retirement occurs, a provisional aspect will be removed from this appointment. In the event the retirement does not occur, this provisional appointment will be rescinded and the provisional position vacated.
I'll step down in a second. Discussion, Chief?
Yeah, thank you for keeping this on the agenda tonight. As I mentioned to the board when you approved the posting the provisional position, we do have a pending retirement from disability that looks like it'll probably be completed by the end of February at the latest. By appointing this provisional position, it'll help us to fill the open hours that we have to do to keep the shifts covered. We did post it only in-house. We had several in-house members apply. The Deputy Chief Bangman and myself did an assessment. We put them through 9 separate stations of practical evolutions, both EMS and fire. And we are recommending to the board that you appoint Leonard Morgante to the provisional position that'll become a regular career upon the retirement.
Excellent. Mike, you got any questions?
No, actually, I called the chief the other day because I saw this email and I was driving, so he kind of gave me the lowdown and explained what he just did.
And if I could just briefly add, I mean, Lenny joined us about a year ago as a call firefighter. He moved to town a couple of years ago, saw that we were looking for on-call members. He went through the recruit class, got Fire 1-2 certified, immediately went to take his EMT and got certified there. He's also led an effort to create a firefighters association here for charitable contributions. Last step is being worked on as the 501c3 designation. And he is also the person you may remember who, through his work, obtained a donation of $10,000 to allow us to buy the containers for training purposes. So he's been very active in the department, and I think is very excited to join us on a career basis.
Yeah, that's great. That's all great news. Thank you. Yeah, we look forward to having you here as you know, full time, and hope that you continue your career here with us. And I know that's, you know, Chief, you just brought up that we have, you know, there's tough times. We're trying to fill spaces, and very difficult what you guys do. And you know, you guys are the front lines of walking into trouble when most people are running the other way. So we're very happy to have you, and very happy for what you all of you do. Thank you.
My only other comment would be that I know we've had discussions for a while that, you know, you're spending overtime money to fill open shifts, and it would seem to make sense that we actually add one more full-time firefighter once this provisional one gets squared away and the retirements are done. I know we've made a lot of progress, but it still seems to me that the most economical thing would be to add one more full-timer to stop the the drain on overtime. But would you agree with that, Chief? Or
yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. I've done a little bit of work on the budget with the officers of the department already, but it is my intent to ask the board to support adding the 7th career person, so that we will have 2 career firefighter EMTs or firefighter paramedics on duty 7/24, which will eliminate the need to try and fill open shifts, which lately we're having to start filling with some overtime.
Great. All right. We've got the motion on the floor. Any further discussion? All in favor?
yeah, Morale, aye.
Tenio, aye. Thank you so much, and welcome aboard. Hold on, I gotta shut this door.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to all you guys. Thanks for everything you do.
Yep, thank you.
Discuss the 23 budget calendar. Do we want to just wait till the next meeting on that? It's only me and you, Mike.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? And I looked at what's in the email. It's identical to last time, except that, the calendar now says that we're encouraging the FinCom to come to our meetings, which I think is a great idea. There is a couple of joint FinCom select board meetings. And the one thing I would add that really doesn't need to be on the calendar, but one of the things that used to really be difficult is when the FinCom would get the motions so late that, it would force them to, deliberate what their recommendation would be in the half hour before the meeting. But you can see here, the public meeting on the budget for the FinCom is April 6th, a month before the annual town meeting. So if we can get all the other motions done by then as well, that would give them a whole month to discuss them. And if there's any issues, you know what I'm saying? That way we're
I know
not.
exactly what you mean. Yep.
No, we're not back. Yeah, you've been there too. I mean, so we're not
Yep.
backed up against it, So I think it's great if they come deliberate with us. But
I really, yeah, I feel the same way. I think it's really gonna, any concerns that they may have had now that if we do them together and we have a couple of, departments in per night, maybe on some nights, if it's a big department, we just do just that department. But some of the small ones we do together through this hybrid meeting process with everybody there to be able to ask the questions, and we hear it together, so we don't have to decipher, well, someone said this, someone said that. We're all hearing it at the same time, and it might make those specific meetings a bit longer, but to get it all done in one night, I think per department or 2 departments maybe on a small one will be way more efficient than department have to meeting with the selectmen, then have to meet with the finance committee. Together we can get all the questions answered and we hear it collectively together.
I agree. That's, I think, I always liked it when we met together. And there were times when I would come to a select board meeting, but I didn't have the whole committee there. This way they
Yeah.
as in real time, plus it's all being recorded. So if somebody can't make a meeting, they can always log on at their leisure and.
Yep,
And-
hear the questions that were asked. Excellent. Cool. Yeah, I'm happy to see that we're all, and I'm hoping that the FinCom's all in agreement on this too. So whatever their next meeting is, I might even attend again, especially with hybrid. So it's like I said, this is making things a whole heck of a lot easier.
Yeah, we just have to make sure that everybody's on the same page to know how to use the equipment that the town's invested in. So all the meetings do end up being really hybrid and recorded. And I know that you and Kim have talked about that, so.
Yep. So I actually had the first meeting today with two people in my office where I'm going there tomorrow to take photos, do some screenshots of how everything, how to do it. So they're building the instructions for right down to how to plug the wire into to bring your own device, or if we're going to have a device there that you could log into that device with your town account and be able to see it. So we're putting together all the options, and we're going to do a training on December 15th that myself and I'll probably have Jeff with me as well remotely, so that we're using the product at the same time for and to be able to see how the whole thing works while we're there. So, and anybody that doesn't make that meeting, we'll also just schedule individual times with them to sit down and do it on a one-to-one if we have to. So that's what we're here for. So we'll be able to get that done.
One thing I would say that throughout the pandemic with the FinCom, one thing that really needs to be stressed is that everybody should log in through their account, because when you just click on that option to just join as a guest, you don't have full functionality. I mean, it's okay to do it that way, but if everybody logs in as a guest, then nobody can run the meeting,
True.
right?
The other piece of it is too, we're now, it's going to be even more imperative as we progress, as you know, as you and I have even talked, that we're building those areas for the departments, and FinCom is the one that we're working on first, to be able to, when they do log in, they have access to the files for the meeting, that everybody can see all of those files.
Yeah.
And you know, again, the BOS hopefully will be the next, or in conjunction with, so that we don't have to get emailed these documents. We can log in and everybody can open up a copy of the document, you know,
Yeah.
And each have our own different spot. If you have some files that you have or you want to share with each other, we can be able to do all that. So it'll be much easier to do it, even like we were talking about that scanned document before. So
Yeah, right,
that's
right.
it's all happening as we speak. So it'll all be ready.
Great. So do you want a motion to approve the calendar as published? I can share it on the screen if we need to get a copy of it on the.
Yeah,
know,
I mean, yeah, we can definitely make a motion. That's fine. Is nobody had any concerns with it?
Well, it's only you and me, I think. And
No, but I mean, we've had it. When did we get it? Oh, yeah, I mean.
It was sent out.
Kim sent it on the 29th.
On Monday.
Yep.
November.
So if we want to, so the first meeting's not until the 31st.
Right, that's correct.
So do we want to?
Well, no, the 31st is when they have to have their everything input. So our first budget review isn't until January 12th of 2022. So I guess there's no rush to approve it, right?
I'm totally fine with the calendar as it sits. Let's just make sure that everybody's there, and maybe we even request that the finance committee come to our next meeting to, if then have any input that they want.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
On the what is that, our 15th meeting? So
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, let's invite them to the 15th meeting, as long as Mark is okay with that. After, you know, check in with him, Laura, if you don't mind.
Yes,
Mark
I
and
will.
Kim, and just to have a discussion about this piece, and that we're all on the same page, because we're going to be meeting together. So as long as they're good with it, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah. So we don't need to take a vote on it now, because
Okay.
No.
we'll just invite them, like you said, let's see.
Okay. So the only other item that came in was that request for the license, Laura, for the used car license it's under 48 hours. I don't think I have it in my agenda, but it was a request from I think it's called is it called the Imperial Toy Store, I guess?
Yes, yes.
So it's the old marina that, looking to get a used car license there. It's still pending routing slips, but they had asked if we could approve it pending routing slips, only because they need to get with the state. And if routing slips are done on Monday, it would just save them from having to wait till the meeting on the 15th before we approved it. So
this actually, when it was Nipmuc Marine and Auto, he actually had a used car license there anyways, right? He could sell some cars.
I don't know. Did he? Well, he had both. I don't know if he had cars.
Yeah, it was Nipmuc Marine and Auto who used to repair them, and I think he had a license. Obviously he didn't have a lot of room to display them all, but I know that he had the ability to sell them. So this is the same use. It's not like we're approving a license for someplace where there never was one before. So, I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
You're catching us right at the end. Yeah, so I would normally abstain, although that Mark's not on. So I'm just gonna make a disclosure before we discuss anything any further, is that company that I own does work with Imperial Cars and other businesses that are owned by the owner of Imperial Toy Store, which is Kevin Meehan. Although I've never done any work at this premise. So I just want to disclose that, so in case there's anything down the road.
Okay. Well, I'm looking for do you have the language for that? Because I don't see that on.
I don't. Laura,
what's the name of what is?
I sent the second agenda to update. It has all of this updated in it.
Motions. Yep. Okay, hang on.
And it's got their application and all their stuff with the motion. I didn't print one for myself, but.
Yeah,
Kim, did
so
any positives?
I don't know yet.
too soon, right?
Well, the pediatrician actually sent us there, so we had we did a drive through at 3:30, so we'll know tomorrow. But they got all kinds of wacky symptoms, and so it just sucks because you can't rule anything out, and it's so.
Yeah, it's funny that now it's probably just the flu, but we consider those wacky symptoms because we haven't heard of them so long.
They came home from the weekend and they have no fevers, okay? They are stuffy, but then they both have chills and they're all sweaty, right? No fever, but their cheeks were bright red, as if like a costumey red. So I stuck the thermometer on my daughter's head and she was 97. And then I put it on her cheeks last night and they were 103. That's how red her little, looked like they had windburn on their face. So I was Googling, bright red cheeks, no fever, like that, what the hell, right? So they've been vaccinated. She's had one shot, he's had two. So I don't know. Someone told me there was a flu going around that had no fever. Who knows? I mean, whatever. I'm just hoping it skips by me, whatever it is.
You're going through the process.
Yeah, I mean, they went to school this week. I sent them to school on Tuesday. My son had a sore throat, and I said, I got to go to work. I said, you're feeling sick, go to the school nurse, and they'll call me. And then they did call me. He was after school. He was having trouble breathing, but it was like 2:15 by then. So I was like, well, just go home. So, right. I know.
All right.
And like I said, just because I know that this building actually housed a marina and auto repair shop that had this same Class 2 license. I move to approve a Class 2 dealership license for 44 Uxbridge Road, Imperial Toy Store LLC, pending the receipt of positive routing slips.
I'll step down in second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Raleigh, aye.
Tenio, aye. Do we have anything else?
So when is our next meeting? The
15th.
No. Did you already talk about the budget calendar? I missed it.
Yes. Yep. What we did was we both were in agreement with what's there. It's like last time. The only thing that we both we're concerned is to give the FinCom enough time to vet all of the motions so they don't have to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I need some direction. I don't know if you discussed it or not, sorry, but I want to make sure that you're okay with basically saying that level service budget is what we're looking for this year. And that if you have requests, right, they're separate. So you're okay with me, if a budget is a budget and it's the same as it's always been, I'll meet with those departments. And that way it'll help us, you know, we have 6 meetings, right, between now and when we can have those departments that are with the asks come in, and that'll help the process move along. I mean, obviously any elected board or an employee will come in anyway with theirs, but I'm just thinking, let's give an example of like the library. If they don't have a change significantly to their budget and it's just level service from the year before, is it okay if it's just me and Jody meeting with them, or do you want to see everybody?
well, I think what we both said was that, you know, the budget calendar says have everything in KVS by the end of this month.
Yep.
We wanted to invite the FinCom to our next meeting so we could talk about the calendar. And we're not even scheduled to meet with anybody until sometime in February.
January, really?
Well,
Because
you're scheduled in January, but
well,
the point is,
you will start meeting with them first meeting the mid-January. You'll meet with the FinCom next meeting, the 15th. And I will, because as soon as we get the revenue numbers sort of set in that second week of January, I would basically start inviting at least 2 departments per meeting starting mid-January. That would be the goal.
Yep.
And the FinCom, of course, 1 meeting, both groups each time. So
I
that
like
way,
that.
yeah, so
I
that way it
do.
just
That's
simplifies.
just what we just said. We just said that before.
Perfect.
And what I would say to your first question, even if it's a level service budget, there's going to be no questions with the way we have these meetings capabilities right now, and we're going to be meeting with the FinCom. Throw them in have a level service that's not going to really generate any questions, along with maybe a difficult one or another small one, so that the FinCom at least we and the FinCom can at least say, okay, hey, nobody's got any questions. Thanks for coming down, and thanks for the level service budget, right?
Okay.
But as far as really hashing things out, hold on, sorry. I mean, hashing out all the details ahead of time, I would feel that would be what you would be working with. And by the time they got to us, it was pretty much, not that we need to rubber stamp it, but okay, this is where we were, this is how we got here, the explanation, and everybody's
That's
happy.
typically what I do anyway. By the time I see you guys with the budget, I mean, it's basically balanced. And I know, and then you have that list of, you know, sometimes between $200,000 and $600,000 worth of requests from departments. And then you prioritize those based upon the information that we get. The departments fill out these sheets with those requests that are over level service. And then we can go through those. I mean, I think it's, you know, this is more complicated than it needs to be. It's pretty streamlined as it is. We're just changing the meeting style, which is you guys will now have the departments come to you and we'll have the FinCom join our meeting.
I think I like that. And I think they're going to be happy with that.
Yeah, the only thing I would ask is that you invite that person from the Division of Local Services to make a.
That's
remote
already done.
presentation.
He's scheduled to come on the 15th and make a presentation.
Great.
Yes,
Excellent.
remotely make a presentation. He's
Yeah,
also
well, that's what he
providing-
wanted to do. He
He's
said it was
providing
only
me with
gonna
2
be-
samples of 2 reports that they've done for other communities.
Excellent. All right. Anything else? All right. Mike, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll step down in a second. Discussion. Thanks, everybody. Thank you all for coming.
All right,
Aye.
see ya.
Bye,
Hope
everybody.
feels well.
Bye.
Right.